So now Alfred Joachim leads the United States past the Tribune of Honor. The Americans place their hands over their hearts and the flag remains high. But now a great cheer is enveloping the stadium. The German team has entered. They're dressed all in white, wearing yachting caps, 8 abreast.
Oh, that is an incredible sight. Chancellor Hitler seems mesmerized. The hosting of these Olympic Games has done more for the credibility of his regime than all his speeches and territorial acquisitions of the past.
But now, as the German team marches in, there is interjected the flavor of the German military. The German equestrian team and the German pistol and rifle shooting team are marching in their military uniforms. Visual evidence of the real world, and that these 2 weeks of competition, as we said before, are just the truth of God.
So now, as the teams are forming on the infield, almost in place for the opening of the games, I'm sure we're all thinking about how the American team will perform during the competition, which starts tomorrow. A few days ago, we met with Avery Brundage, the president of the United States Olympic Committee.
400 boys and girls who will march into the stadium on August 1st behind the Stars and Stripes will constitute the finest team we have ever sent abroad.
Wir bitten die Sportler, ihre Positionen hinter ihren Bannerträgern einzunehmen und den...
So now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived for Chancellor Adolf Hitler, perhaps the crowning moment. It was just 6 months ago in the Twin Cities of Garmisch-Partenkirchen. There was perhaps a prelude of what will take place in just a few moments. And Chancellor Hitler opened the Winter Olympic Games.
Die 4. Olympischen Winterspiele 1936 in Garmisch-Partenkirchen für eröffnet.
Now, the most powerful nations in the world, as represented by their finest athletes, await the Chancellor.
Ich verkünde die Spiele von Berlin zur Feier der 11. Olympiade neuer Zeitrechnung als eröffnet.
Pigeons are released. Thousands of them are sent skyward, symbolic of the doves of peace. They try to get their bearings, then as a plane follow the leader, they move together, upward and outward. The last torchbearer has reached the opening and raises the torch high. Blonde youth, the winner. I told his last name was Shogun, 19 years old, and if I were to give an editorial comment, I think he was selected as another piece of symbolism. Blonde, tall, good-looking, almost a model of what Propaganda Minister Joseph Goebbels proposes the German youth to be, a visual symbol of the Aryan racial theory.
Over a year ago, May 25th, 1935, to be exact, that Jesse Owens put on the most amazing display in track and field history. setting 3 world records and tying a 4th in less than an hour at the Big Ten Championships at Ann Arbor, Michigan. World records in the 100-yard, running broad jump, 220 yards, and 220-yard hurdle, all in the space of 45 minutes. And just a few weeks ago at Randall's Island, Jesse defeated Ralph Metcalf in the 100-meter Olympic trials, with Frank Wyckoff coming in 3rd. And those are the 3 who will represent the United States in just a few minutes.
The 6 finalists have not yet come out onto the track, but now as the second day of competition is coming to a close, there's a major controversy taking place. The first time that the fears of many have come to fruition, that the racial and religious policies of the German government under Chancellor Adolf Hitler would become evident, even though Hitler and the Nazi hierarchy had pledged that these games would be free of any political strife.
It all began yesterday during the first day of actual competition when 4 finals were scheduled. The first final, the 10,000 meters, was an all-Finnish affair. 3 runners from Finland, following in the footsteps of the legendary Paavo Nurmi, who was watching, finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Ilmari Salminen won the gold, and Arvo Askola the silver, and Volmari Isohalo the bronze. When the 3 were ushered into Chancellor Hitler's box to receive congratulations, the crowd roared its acclaim.
Now, this victory was followed by 2 gold medal performances by German athletes. Hans Volke won the shot put, and Tilly Fleischer won the women's javelin. And now the roars were deafening as both Volke and Fleischer were ushered into Chancellor Hitler's box. And the crowd went crazy as the very happy Chancellor stole through.
There was one more final competition taking place throughout the afternoon while all this was going on, the men's high jump. Soon became evident that this was going to be an all-American affair amongst Cornelius Johnson, Dave Albritton, and Dee Thurber. Even more evident that the battle for the gold medal was going to be between Johnson and Albritton, both Negroes. Well, as the 3 Americans were fighting it out during the long afternoon, it began to rain. Not a downpour, but a shower. And as soon as Chancellor Hitler congratulated the 2 German winners, there was a whispered conversation between Hitler and his aides, and shortly they left the stadium before Johnson got off the leap that would win him the gold medal. Of course, with Hitler gone, there was no reception of the American in the Chancellor's box. American and British journalists today wrote of the snub to Cornelius Johnson, emphasizing the Chancellor had congratulated the 3 white winners and was not around for Cornelius Johnson's victory. The German official explanation was that the Chancellor left the stadium because of the rain. Nevertheless, the International Olympic Committee took note of the incident and acted quickly. We have with us Dr. Theodor Lewald, the head of the German Olympic Organizing Committee, who will give the rest of the story. Dr. Lewald.
Quite simply, what you've just described did in fact occur. The International Olympic Committee called for a meeting with Chancellor Hitler and his aides and told them, quite frankly, they were our guests. He held no official capacity. That in fact the Olympic Games were assigned to the city of Berlin and not the country of Germany. He has no official status. He must act under the protocol and procedures of the International Olympic Committee. In clear and precise terms, Chancellor Hitler was told he would have to greet all the winners or he would greet no one. He agreed to this provision, and that's all there is to it.
Okay, now we're ready for the final of the 100 meters. The runners are down on the track. As we told you, the favorites in the race, Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalf, the United States. Now, they're the bookends in this race. Jesse's in lane 1 on the inside, Ralph Metcalf on the outside in lane 6.
The 6 runners are getting ready. Some of them are still digging their starting hole. This track is, as you know, made of red cinders, a mixture of cinders and dirt, actually. Not as compact as they'd like it to be because of the continuous rain. Owens on the inside, Strandberg alongside him in lane 2 will perhaps have the most beat-up lane. As you know, in the other races that have taken place, most of the runners take those inside lanes. Since the track is measured on the inside lane, of course, that's the shortest distance around the curves. This starter is quite familiar to Ralph Metcalf. He's Franz Muller of Germany, who was the official starter in 1928 in Amsterdam and then 4 years ago again in Los Angeles. Ralph Metcalf, a notoriously slow starter. He is, by all accounts, the fastest finisher in the race. So we feel the important thing for Ralph is to get even with Jesse and to try and run him down at the finish. Franz Muller has called the runners to their marks. Jesse Owens on the inside. He's the favorite. Owens has won all of his preliminary races. On the outside, his U.S. teammate Ralph Metcalf, also with 3 straight victories. Now they're all set. And they're off. Jesse Owens on the inside. Fastest of all at the start. Martin Nosendorf in the middle there, but he's starting to lag back. And now here's Ralph Metcalf starting to make a move, but I don't think he gets Jesse. No, Jesse Owens is the winner. Ralph Metcalf coming in second, and Martin Nosendorf running third. A clear-cut victory for Jesse Owens. No need for a photo on this one. Jesse was clearly 2 meters in front. Metcalf, again, was coming strong at the finish, but he just had too much ground to make up. Again, Metcalf with a bad start. The crowd is giving Jesse Owens a tremendous ovation. We look to Chancellor Hitler's box. Quite frankly, there is no expression of any kind, neither joy nor sadness. Like everyone else, I'm sure he recognized the greatness of Jesse's performance. Jesse is being deceived by reporters and photographers. You have to wait a few minutes to get to him. Ralph Metcalf is walking around disappointed for the second time in 4 years. A silver medal for the second time. Bill Cassidy is down on the field with Ralph Metcalf.
Ralph, congratulations. Another still.
Got another bad start. Pretty tough to catch Jesse if you don't get off well.
France Miller, the same starter you had in Los Angeles 4 years ago. Has he been a jinx for you?
I guess it's my fault. But I had his rhythm down. Everyone else got off all right, so I guess it's my fault.
Let's take a look at the race on replay, Ralph.
That's me, closest to the camera in lane 6. Frank Wyckoff is next to me, and at the top of the screen is Jesse. Now we'll get set, and then the gun. As you see, Jesse on top goes out quickest of all. Strandberg is next to him. Borschmeyer's in the middle, then Ozendorf and Frank. And here at the 50-meter mark, I'm dead last, close to the camera. Now, what happens is I got to pick up on 4 guys before I get Jesse. And Jesse's about 2 meters ahead of everybody else. Now, I keep on going, and I catch Frank first. I get Ozendorf, and now I'm coming in after Jesse. But the field runs out on me, and at the finish, Jesse still has 2 yards on me.
Once again, congratulations.
Right after the race, Jesse had this to say to the folks back home.
I'm very glad to have won the 100 meters in the Olympic Games here in Berlin. A very beautiful place and a very beautiful setting. The competition was grand, and we're very glad to come out on top. Thank you very kindly.
Well, that's it for this afternoon. Jesse Owens has won the gold medal in the 100 meters, the first of his 3 events. The next couple of days, Jesse will be a pretty busy guy. He is entered in the running broad jump and the 200 meters, and by the luck of the schedule, both events are going to take place at approximately the same time. Until next time, then, from Berlin, speaking for Dan Ashmore, this is Barry Coleman saying so long.